Welcome back, guys. This is a space where we talk about all things human. My name is Shadia and I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist. And today I'm going to be reacting to the song Hi Ren by Ren because this was one of the most popular songs commented on my last video. And I did not take any of your recommendations lightly. I made an entire list of all the songs that you guys had told me about and some of the feedback pertaining to some of the songs, kind of like how they might relate to one another. Anywho, I made a list. I'm mindful of it. And I did want to say before I even get into this song right here, thank you so much. I don't even think I can put into words how much it meant to me to see the response on that last video. I've always been a little bit of a misfit in my field. I'm very passionate about what I do and helping people, and I'm new to YouTube, kind of bringing my perspectives and my thought processes here. So I'm glad that you are here, and I hope that you guys find this to be a space where we can all just come together, whether it's listening to music, talking about different themes or areas of mental health, and hopefully you walk away from this maybe even feeling a little less isolated in your experience. So without further ado, we're going to get into Hi Ren by Ren. I noticed that this song is 9 minutes and 19 seconds long, so let's go on this wild journey, I imagine, together. Chord progressions and the change of the melody, there's so many different tones and like directions that the music is going into, and to me I just kind of connect that to human beings. I mean, our moods, our thoughts, and how much all of it can just feel maybe a little messy. It doesn't really follow some linear path. I mean, woe is life. But I love that this almost feels like an expression of that just through the music alone. And I did notice the guy with the mask and the pig and the kind of slaughter, like up for the slaughter. I think in mental health, sometimes people might feel like they're just a number, or that they are just up for the slaughter, like here, put them in here and put them on this, that, and the other, and whatever. So I thought that was kind of an interesting image.
It's been a little while. Did you miss me? You thought you buried me, didn't you? Risky, cause I always come back. Deep down you know that. Deep down you know I'm always in periphery. Ran on you, pleased to see me. It's been weeks since we spoke, bro. I know you need me. You're the sheep, I'm the shepherd. Not your place to lead me. Not your place to be biting off the hand that feeds me. Hi, Ren. I've been taking some time to be distant. I've been taking some time to be still. I've been taking some time to be by myself since my therapist told me I'm ill. And I've been making some progress lately, and I've learned some new coping skills. So I haven't really needed you much, man. I think we need to just step back and chill.
Okay, there's already so much here. One, I do notice the lights, and I think that's really cool. Bravo. So you have two voices. One voice, everyone might have their own perspective, whether it's darkness, pain, ego, demon, whatever it might be. I mean, it's an entity that basically, from your brain's perspective, I've said this probably in every video, but if I haven't, your brain is designed to keep you safe and to keep you alive. And at some point, its design, its mechanism did its job. Like if you were going through an abusive relationship or something of that nature, and then you've isolated yourself because you don't know who you can trust, right? And that's okay as you try to formulate who you can trust, but the hope is that you don't stay there in isolation for the rest of your life, or whatever it is that someone might go through, right? So that creature saying, you don't bite the hand that feeds, I'm in charge. Who are you to tell me what? Because I have been the one protecting you and being there for you. I'm your most loyal friend. who are you to tell me otherwise? And it is such a hard battle to go in opposition of that voice, because to some extent there is evidence that backs up that voice. But then you see him almost like his authentic self, like his true self, right when he turns over. But his voice to me is so submissive and fragile. It's learning. It's like a little kid again, right? It's learning to trust himself and to love himself and to be the master of his own world, saying, I'm learning these new skills and things. I don't know if I need you, because at some point we do feel like we need this voice. And it might sound silly to people that don't understand mental health. Like, why would you need that voice? Sometimes, honestly, that's the only voice you had. It was the only friend you had. It was the only thing you could rely on. It was familiar. And saying goodbye to your pain or your demon or whatever is actually quite difficult for a lot of people. So it already was making me emotional seeing the fragility in his voice of, I don't think I need you. And in my heart, I was like, you don't. Keep going. But anyway.
Chill, Ren, you sound more insane than I do. You think that those doctors are really there to guide you? Been through this a million times, your civilian mind is so perfect to always being lied to. Okay, take another pill, boy. Drown yourself in the sound of white noise. Follow this 10-step program, rejoice. All your problems will be gone. Fucking dumb boy. Nah, mate, this time is different, man, trust me. I feel like things might be falling in place. And my music's been kinda doing bits too. Like I actually might do something great. And when I'm gone, maybe I'll be remembered for doing something special with myself. That's why I don't think that we should talk, man. Cause when you're with me, it never seems to help.
I'm sorry, I have to stop it. I told you I was already getting emotional. Here we are. A part of this is because I believe in people so much. And I've been through my own shit in my life. Like, this doesn't just come from like blind optimism. It comes from real shit. But I believe in people and I believe in what they can do. And I love when someone has a dream and I love when someone overcomes, because we're here to live all in, not 1 foot in and 1 foot out. But I understand the 1 foot out. And so again, to hear this voice saying, who are you? You're going to go, what? Go get some pills and drown yourself here. And then the doctor's this and that. Like, who are they to do anything or tell you anything? I've always been here. And also it paints mental health in such a negative look, and I get it. Unfortunately, I get why. Like I started the video, like, you're just a number, you're up for the slaughter. So, but it's trying to make him second guess himself. Like, this is what's going to happen to you. I'm not going to do that. So come back. But if you come back to me, there will be indefinite suffering. At least if you try the other path, there's an opportunity for you to actually make something of your life that you feel fulfilled and satisfied with. And again, that's what he's saying is like, but I think I can. And also the part of my emotion was in myself as I was watching this. I was like, because you can, please just keep going. And I know sometimes that's the hardest part.
The hell? You think that you can amputate me? I am you are me, you are I am we are one. Split in two, that makes one. So you see, you gotta kill you if you wanna kill me. I'm not leftover dinner, I'm not scraps on the side. Oh, your music is thriving, delusional guy. Where's your top 10 hit? Where's your interview with Oprah? Where are your Grammys, Ren? Nowhere. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I know I keep pausing it, but I just think it's really important, especially if anyone's ever watching this, that can resonate with it. But that thing of like, if you have to kill you if you want to kill me. And sometimes working with clients and things over the past, it's not that they want to take their life, but they want to get rid of this voice. They're so tired of the pain. They're so tired of this. And it's like, they get so consumed by it. It's like, oh, well, if I do it, that's how I get rid of this. But if you slow them down and create detachment from that voice for a minute, and we try to really do all the work, then all of a sudden their hope comes back, right? And they want to live and they realize they can master that voice and all those things. So quite powerful. Shit, this is great.
Yeah, but my music's not commercial like that. I never chase numbers, statistics or stats. I never write hooks for the radio, they never even play me, so why would I concern myself with that? But my music is really connecting, and the people who find it respect it. And for me that's enough, cause this life's been tough, so it gives me a purpose I can rest in. Man, you sound so pretentious. Ren, your music is so self-centered. No one wants to hear another song about how much you hate yourself. Trust me. You should be so lucky, having me inside you to guide you, remind you to manage expectations, provide you perspective. That thing you neglected, I get it. You wanna be a big deal, next Jimi Hendrix, forget it. Man, it's not like that. Man, it's just like that. I'm inside you, you twat. No, it's not, man, you're wrong. When I write, I belong. Let me break the fourth wall by acknowledging this.
Two things about this. One, because I think so many people struggle with this, and honestly, it is a bit of being human. No one just has excellent self-talk all the time, but it's such a negative, self-deprecating self-talk. And that is so true to so many people that are suffering, right? Oh, you're going to be this, you're going to be this. Wow, look at that. You're not going to be that. You're this and you're this. And it's just like, but what is all that doing? It's protection in the worst way, right? Because I fear rejection. I fear being let down. I fear being used. I fear people, haters or whatever. It's just, I'm afraid of putting myself forward, because if I can guarantee you success, that voice isn't so strong, right? I mean, it's the whole essence of life, and no one can guarantee you anything. But that voice is also, I want you guys to think how, however you see it, the darkness, ego, blah, 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 it's really fragile at the end of the day. It is riddled with pain and fear and sorrow, and it doesn't actually need confrontation all the time. Sometimes it needs nurture. Every villain, every darkness has an origin story. They weren't always that way, right? So again, they're riddled with all these dark things. And so it's scared too. And I love seeing his switch up of how you see his confidence emerging. He's being more confrontational, like, no, I'm talking now. Like, I don't agree with you. And you see this one getting more agitated because I've always been your most loyal friend. Who are you to challenge me? Who are you to question me? And now we're having like a full collision of two sides. And again, in mental health, that's how people sometimes feel, is like, this one's getting louder. I don't know. And I think I can. And it's just like this constant back and forth. And the hope is that this one ends up being triumphant.
By acknowledging this song, Ren sits down, has a stroke of genius. He wants to write a song that was not done previous. A battle with his subconscious. Eminem did it, played on guitar. Plan B did it. Man, you're not original, you criminal rip-off artist. The pinnacle of your success is stealing other people's material. Ren, mate, we've heard it all before. She sells seashells on the seashore. Fuck you, I don't need you, I don't need to hear this. Cause I'm fine by myself, I'm a genius. And I will be great, and I will make waves. And I'll shake up the whole world beneath it. That's right, speak your truth, your fucking god complex leaks out of you. It's refreshing to actually you say it instead of downplay it. Music is all about the creative process, and if people can find something to relate to within that, then that's just a bonus. Fuck you, I'ma fucking kill you, Ren. Well, fucking kill me then, let's fucking have you, Ren. I'ma do it, watch me prove it. Who are you to doubt my music? Cause I call the shots, I choose if you die. Yeah, I call the shots.
I call the shots and I choose you if you die. The God complex and then his lyrics that follow after that up to this point are very important, because something I've noticed, I think honestly more often today than anything, is how often people feel like they even have to be so PC with themselves. Like, believing in yourself all of a sudden is a narcissistic trait or some kind of shit like that, right? Or, it's such a God complex. You have a superiority complex. Wow, you really think you can do, like, you have no shame. It's like, there's so many things that are not used correctly, that are just downplaying people's ability to really step into the roles that they were meant to be in. But sometimes we do it to ourselves because, again, we hear media or social media, friends, society, whatever it is that we're a part of, right? And that also infiltrates our inner voice, our self-talk. I mean, sometimes the questions I even ask my clients is, where is that messaging coming from? Is that coming from something you experienced, something someone told you? Did you come up with that all by yourself? Like, where is your narrative coming from? Because narrative is so important. And then you see his frustration deepen, right? I can almost like feel that energy of, I call the shots. I determine whether or not you die. I was always in control, right?
Yeah, I call the shots, and so I choose who survives. I'll tie you up in knots when I lock you inside. Newsflash. I was created at the dawn of creation. I am temptation. I am the snake in Eden. I am the reason for treason, beheading all kings. I am sin, with no rhyme or reason. Son of the morning, Lucifer, Antichrist, father of lies. Mephistopheles, truth in a blender, deceitful pretender, the banished avenger, the righteous surrender. When standing in front of my solar eclipse, my name is stitched to your lips. So you see, I won't bow to the will of a mortal. Feeble and normal, you wanna kill me? I'm eternal immortal. I live in every decision that catalyzes chaos, that causes division. I live inside death, the beginning of ends. I am you, you are me, I am you, friend.
You guys, it's important to note the size of the lamps. Maybe I read everything, so sorry. The size of the lamps is important, because whether it's your emotions, your demons, whatever, you need to remember that you are always the master of all of it, the bigger light, than the small light. And darkness can't exist without the light. Anyway, I'm not going to go down all that path, but he's labeling all of these mega names, right? I mean, Lucifer and I can't remember all of them, but these names that basically embody like a darkness or like an evil or an intensity, right? But it's, again, if I think of it from almost like your ego's perspective, ego is kind of a misunderstood little guy. He's just really wounded and fragile. And so he makes himself bigger than he is because he doesn't want people to see how fragile he is. So here you are shouting all these names of I am this and I am this and I am this. Bow to me. Who are you, you mortal? I am the blah, 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 blah. And it's like, because you're losing. Oh, I see. What do people who are people, but in this case, you know what I'm talking about? What do we do when we feel so insecure and small and all the things? Sometimes we pretend to be larger than life. That's exactly what Little Lamp, this darkness, this demon, this part of you is insinuating, right? And again, not losing sight, keep in the back of your mind that typically it is full of wounds, it is insecure, it is small, and it's short-circuiting. That is the term that I use with my clients. Anytime you have this opposition of two that's happening, when this one feels like it's like losing in a sense, it will start to short circuit. So the lighting there, I was like, holy shit, like that's exactly what I mean. It starts to short circuit of like, what? Well, you know what? Here's this. And it's like its last effort to get you to submit. And if you can overcome that battle in your mental health, that is how we know we're headed in the right direction. And all that progress at some point, it's so just everlasting. It's powerful.
I've been taking some time to be distant. I've been taking some time to be still. I've been taking some time to be by myself, and I've spent half my life ill. But just as sure as the tide starts turning, just as sure as the night has dawned, just as sure as the rainfall soon runs dry when you stand in an eye of a storm. I was made to be tested and twisted. I was made to be broken and beat. I was made by his hand, it's all part of his plan that I stand on my own 2 feet.
I don't know if this is what the artist meant, or maybe this is not the perspective you took from this, but I've spent my whole life truly focusing on what it means to be humans. And I think we are some of just the most resilient, adaptable, strong beings in this world. I mean, we really are built to adapt and pivot and withstand. And so all of that lyrically to me was that I was always built for this. This stuff over here that I've been battling, I'm literally designed to withstand you. It's always been me. And in therapy, that point of realization, that point of empowerment of like, I've always had it. It was lost for a moment, but I've always had it. And once I reclaim it, try to take that from me again. Just try. So anyways, for me, I heard this in a positive way because I'm seeing it from a therapeutic stance and a psychological stance, but really beautiful.
And you know me, my will is eternal. And you know me, you've met me before. Face to face with a beast, I will rise from the east and I'll settle on the ocean floor. And I go by many names also. Some people know me as hope. Some people know me as the voice that you hear when you loosen the noose on the rope. And you know how I know that I'll prosper? Cause I stand here beside you today. I have stood in the flames that cremated my brain, and I didn't once flinch or shake. So care of the man I've become when I sing from the top of my lungs, that I won't retire, I'll stand in your fire, inspire that make to be strong. And when I am gone I will rise in the music that I left behind. Ferocious, persistent, immortal like you, we're a climate to different sides.
Gosh, it's so good. More people should know about these artists because it's so good. I mean, it's just the essence of life. Life is literally between two sides. Light can't exist without dark. Happiness can't exist without sadness. You know, life is truly just this pendulum that swings back and forth, and it creates this beautiful and delicate dance because nothing is worth it. Nothing means anything without that pain. And to see him say that although you are eternal, You are forever. You are indefinite pain, sorrow, grief. That stuff will always remain. But you know what? You need to remain. Because in order for you to remain, that means that hope remains, and strength remains, and resiliency remains, and all the beautiful things in this life will also remain. We are two that dance together, actually. We create one another, and we lose each other if I lose just, if I lose either or. So part of our, I have tissues right here. One of you told me I needed to have tissues. It's like you'd know me. I think once as humans, once we kind of really accept that life will always be this delicate balance between two sides, it really does improve our resiliency, because we're no longer resistant or fighting what we can't fight, which is the essence of life. And also as humans, it's so important to note that, like, everything I just said, but we're comprised of those two sides as well, right? I'm not afraid of someone that owns their darkness. Never have, because we are literally comprised of both. Everyone is capable of both. But people that just pretend like they have zero darkness and they're just sunshine and rainbows all the time, it's not true. Those people I'm a little bit more cautious with, because I'm like, because it's just not possible. So anyways, I just also needed to like bring this down a bit.
When I was 17 years old, I shouted out into an empty room, into a blank canvas, that I would defeat the forces of evil. And for the next 10 years of my life, I suffered the consequences, with autoimmunity, illness, and psychosis. As I got older, I realized there were no real winners and there were no real losers in psychological warfare, but there were victims and there were students. It wasn't David versus Goliath. It was a pendulum, eternally swaying from the dark to the light. And the more intensely that the light shone, the darker the shadow it cast. It was never really a battle for me to win. It was an eternal dance. And like a dance, the more rigid I became, the harder it got. The more I cursed my clumsy footsteps, the more I struggled. So I got older, and I learned to relax, and I learned to soften, and that dance got easier. It is this eternal dance that separates human beings from angels, from demons, from gods. And I must not forget, we must not forget, that we are human beings.
I feel like that's just what I just said. Just, jeez. Yeah. This is all I've ever tried to teach people, that we as humans, that is the goal, is to get to a point where you can have that pendulum, that dance between two sides. I don't even do positive self-talk with my clients. One of the first things I tell them, I don't do positive self-talk. I don't do everything is sunshine and rainbows all the time. It's not how you will I don't want you to survive life. I want you to thrive and truly live this life all in. I do supportive self-talk. Support makes room for both sides, right? And the thing about the pendulum, something else that I tell them all the time. If any of them ever watch my videos, they're probably going to be like, gosh, she tells me this all the time. But the pendulum idea is like sometimes people numb themselves, right? And they're so great at just not allowing themselves to feel a particular realm of their darkness or their pain. But it's like those, I always say it's like those little metal balls on the table that kind of go, right? If you've ever seen those on someone's desk, whatever. But it's momentum, right? So if I only move that little ball like this far and I go click and it goes click, 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 because I'm numbing my pain, I only allow that much pain to be felt or experienced. Because I haven't learned the dance, right? I haven't learned what to do with all of it. Then I only get this much joy and happiness. Like the opposite, the receiving end only gets that much. But once I experience and I know how to do my dance in full on this side, I will now experience this side in full as well. Do not curse your steps. Do not minimize whatever it is that is over here. And you don't need to numb it all away, whether it is through drugs or medication sometimes, right? We kind of zombify people. But finding that balance between two sides. And again, I'm always speaking obviously in generalities. And there's obviously a lot of rare things or, gray spaces and this, that, and the other. But for the most part, as human beings, we're human, guys. We are human. We're not gods. We're not holy. We're not these perfect whatever entities, right? We are literally comprised of light and dark. And I think it's actually quite beautiful. If we lived forever, I don't think we would treat each other with the same love and care and intention. But because death exists, it makes us care. It begs us sometimes to care, things of that nature. So thank you again for recommending this song. Clearly I enjoyed it very much. I think it's beautiful. It is so well done. Everything about this artist, phenomenal. And again, keep recs coming. I do have a running list. I am being mindful of what is most popular. And for what it's worth, my tagline has always been for many years now, stay human. And I mean that to the highest extent, stay human. That has always been your power. Till next time.